For Andy Dufresne, life was like a box of dicks. He never knew what he was going to get.
That's how you're introducing this episode? Life is like a box of dicks?
I am nothing without a penis joke from time to time. But since you jumped in early, I guess I'll introduce you now. Falen from KDWB is here today to feud, and it's exciting for two reasons. One, she's from my home stomping grounds, Minnesota. And two, she's a woman willing to talk to me.
Aren't you married?
My point still remains, but enough banter. Let's get this party started, Pink. It's the Shawshank Redemption versus Forrest Gump on Movie Feuds. There's a Bangladesh of Golden Globe nominees on both camps. But for my money, it's Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman all day, every day. Tim Robbins' character is a tall drink of water who keeps his wits about him from beginning to end. He's resourceful and patient. After all, you don't tunnel through a wall and crawl through 500 yards of shit-smelling foulness overnight. In fact, I used to think it'd take 600 years to tunnel under the wall. Old Andy did it in less than 20.
Do I get a turn, or are you going to spend this entire episode quoting lines from Shawshank?
He crawled through a river of shit and came up clean on the other side. How can I not talk about that, Falen? As good as Robbins is, the winner here is Morgan Freeman's character, Red. Freeman was put on Earth to narrate.
Okay, I'm done waiting. Tom Hanks gives the performance of a lifetime in Forrest Gump. He's the little engine that could, an inspiration to us all. His childlike wonder and appreciation for the smallest acts of kindness truly make us see the good in others around us.
Just wait until the comments start rolling in. YouTube is full of the most despicable, depraved, self-entitled little the internet has ever seen. Subscribe.
Moving on. I could go on for days about some of the actors in Gump, but we've all seen the film, or at least I hope we have. Sally Field is an incredible actress, and she once more delivers as Forrest Gump's mother. Then there's always the underappreciated Gary Sinise as Lieutenant Dan. McKelty Williamson as Bubba Gump gets funnier every single time he lists off the never-ending types of shrimp meals. And let's not forget about the adorable young Haley Joel Osment as Forrest Gump's son.
I see you're intentionally forgetting someone. Janny. Probably because she's terrible and she ruins every scene she's in, killing the mood of the film.
Bite your tongue. She was a huge part of Forrest Gump, whether you like her or not.
I don't. She was a selfish, ignorant floozy who finds Forrest in his later years only to dump a kid on him right before she croaks. And I think she's awful. There, I said it. I said what everybody else was thinking.
She represents a lot of young women, just people in general, who are lost in the world. And she had a terrible upbringing, might I remind you. And I'll speak further about that in round 2, which, by the way, starts now.
No. That's not how this works. This is my show. I decide when we go to the next round. Okay. Well, since I was cut off mid-sentence, I guess I'll continue with my characters during the story round. The Shawshank Redemption was written by the least likely candidate to me, Stephen King. The screenplay was also co-written by director Frank Darabont, whose other notable films include The Mist and The Green Mile. Nothing beats Shawshank, though. Nothing.
Nothing but Forrest Gump, that is. I mean, this is a tale journaling the life of an extraordinary and unusual man from childhood to adult years. The impact of his simple actions were intertwined seamlessly with things that actually happened in our history from 1950 on. I mean, he taught Elvis one of his famous dance moves. He met JFK. He fought in the Vietnam War. He, of course, competes in professional ping pong tournaments, and he becomes the owner of Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. And then, of course, there's Jenny's story, and that's polar opposite of Forrest, which is a great example of how one's upbringing can change the course of their entire life.
Andy Dufresne, A-Duff for short, was a successful banker who was wrongfully accused of killing his wife. Gets life imprisonment. Spoiler alert, it sucks ass in prison. A wonderful bromance forms between him and Red over his 20-year stint, and we get probably the best ending in film history. The final sequence of Red getting out of prison, going on that bus ride, finding that box under the tree that has no reason to be out in that field, and then seeing Andy on the beach working on his boat, gives me chills every time thinking about it. Falen brought up some of the other characters Gump came across, but they have nothing over Bob Gunton as the asshole warden or Clancy Brown's character, Captain Hadley. James Whitmore gets a mini-story as well as Brooks, an old convict who spent more time behind the bars than outside of them. This ends in a traumatic sequence where he ends up killing himself. Brooks was here. He was also here, right in this guy's heart. If you don't tear up at the end of that scene every time, you are a soulless individual, Falen.
I weep like a child who's just lost their puppy.
Not good enough.
I cry harder than Rose did when the Titanic sank, and she had to let Leo slip away while Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On played in the background.
Awfully specific, but I agree fully. I actually would have also accepted Seal's masterpiece, Kiss from a Rose on the Grave. Actually would prefer it, as it has the same name in its title as one of our lead characters from Titanic. Rose. Kiss from a Rose on the Grave.
Back to the Future director Robert Zemeckis and his team did an amazing job. There are things you probably didn't even think of in the effects department. For instance, all the ping pong balls were computer generated. Forrest wore a blue shirt anytime he progressed in age. Lieutenant Dan's legs were digitally removed, and I briefly mentioned the impressive use of adding Tom Hanks into old footage. And finally is the simple yet beautiful shot of the feather that blows this way and that way.
Yes, Gump certainly has the larger amount of effects at play, but Shawshank's not without its tricks either. The exterior shots of the prison were done in Iowa, but the interior was done on a soundstage. Alright, so there was very little crazy effects, but there was also very little reason for them. The story is more than enough here, and some of the shots are instantly recognizable the minute you see them, from Andy's freedom in the rain to the classic poster cell rip.
Okay, Forrest Gump didn't need any effects either, but they added it. Just another layer to the already great cake. The Vietnam section could have been the entire movie by itself, but there's also some football, and there's fishing, and there's running and fighting, and pretty much a little bit of everything.
Shawshank Redemption has baseball playing, book reading and rental, roof tarring, and music listening. So there.
I'm thinking those sounded more exciting in your head.
Thomas Newman scored the soundtrack for The Shawshank Redemption, and it's no surprise to me that it was nominated for a Golden Globe Award. There are other songs peppered throughout. This is like a pepper shaker. But the most notable, the most recognizable is the one by Mozart that plays over the loudspeaker when Andy gets a little frisky.
Well, once again, Gump takes the shrimp on this one with a wide net of songs casted out over the film's length.
Lot of fisherman analogies there. I liked it. I like it a lot.
Okay, try and keep up. Elvis, CCR, Doobie Brothers, Fleetwood Mac, The Doors, Simon and Garfunkel. I mean, the list goes on and on. And then on top of that, we have original motion picture score from the hit-famed composer Alan Silvestri, who in past did scores for Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Back to the Future, and many other hits. Such
as Mac and Me, an hour-and-a-half advertisement for McDonald's. Well done. I'm loving it.
Gump is the better bang for your buck. Brilliant acting, directing, effects, and music. It has every category covered to perfection. It took the best picture over both Shawshank and Pulp Fiction, and showcases one more reason why Tom Hanks is one of the best actors in Hollywood.
Don't get me wrong, Forrest Gump is amazing. It's on my top 10 movies of all time list. It really is a treasure. A national treasure, one could say.
Only of that one is Nicolas Cage.
That's fair and balanced. But let me say this, The Shawshank Redemption is a phoenix rising. In 1995, when it hit the rentals, it was #1, beat out everything the full year. It's also #1 on IMDb's top 250 movies to see of all time list. There is a reason the film plays more than any other on the TNT network, and it's because it's the best.
Actually, it's because Time Warner bought the rights to play it for dirt cheap.
Nevertheless.
All right, now that you're all wound up in a tizzy, I'm going to plug my own stuff. I have a book club. I have a really cool thing called Minds of Minnesota, actually featuring Adam, I know. And you can check it out. It's a really cool podcast featuring people that live right here in the Twin Cities and amazing things they're doing. You can get all that at daveryanshow.com. Just click under Falen to see all of that. Oh, and I have really cute, dresses and new nail designs and recipes there too that you can check out.
These are some of my favorite films of all time and the reason Movie Feuds exists. All I talk about lately is superhero shit, and although I do like it, it gets a little annoying after a while. I want to see more Shawshanks. I want to see more passion projects like Forrest Gump. Let me know what you think though. What's the top dog here? Like, comment, and subscribe, and also say hi to Falen, self-entitled Queen of Minnesota. Alright, she's never said that, but maybe she should. More than just reviews, this is Movie Feuds.